changing times. Everything is going so much faster. It seems like I'm watching my life and everything I do, wondering if the dreams that I believed in can still come true. Caught in between.
It's just a constant assault on black men. So if you guys have been watching the news, basically the media narrative is that the Asian community has been being assaulted by the black community. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. There's probably a few incidences of that happening. But I'm going to use my basic logic. And my basic logic basically says, why would black people, who are predominantly the customers of Asians and Asian restaurants and stores, beauty salons and stuff like that, be assaulting Asians on a mass scale when they depend on us for their livelihood? Now, the media has taken this whole narrative and has made it seem like, oh my gosh, these black people are just assaulting Asians. And you know what the sad thing about it is? And again, there's a certain particular Asian group that is going with this narrative, okay? And like I said, Chinese are different than Japanese. Japanese are different than Singaporeans and Filipinos. They've got different cultures and different groups, right? But within those areas, you do have a hierarchy, right? And supposedly, you know, the Vietnamese and the Southeast Asians, they're the the racism within the Asian culture. They were like the lowest in the culture, I guess, in that area. That's why a lot of countries tried to dominate them so much. But again, Vietnam never, ever stopped fighting. The people from Southeast Asia are very, very tough people. And a lot of their culture and their resiliency, I can say, is, to me, kind of like being black here in America. You know, they can take a licking, but they keep on ticking, okay? Now, it just seems to me the narrative that the media is trying to put out there, it's coming from a particular group of Asians, okay? And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It does. There are incidences of black assaults. But I've also saw in the media to where they're using Asians that assault black women and choking them out in salons and hair shops and stuff like that, and trying to reverse it, like the black people are assaulting them when it's the other way around, okay? And once again, white supremacy is using two factions against each other to take the focus off of white supremacy, because the majority of racism comes from one group of people in the United States, comes from one main group of people, and they're the minority in this country, and that's white people, okay? This country was founded on white supremacy. We can all agree to that, okay? So you've got these people who, they know they're going to be in the minority, so they're going to use anything they can to stay in power. And they're going to use proxy groups, be it Hispanics, be it Asians, be it whatever, to keep down a certain group that built this country. And that group happens to look like me, black people. So if you cause a rift between blacks and Asians, you cause a rift. Now, it is kind of known in the Asian culture, because of the negativity and the stereotyping of black people, that, you know, well, you're not black, so, you know, the black is the lowest form. And I was raised in Okinawa, okay, Okinawa, Japan. I have a lot of military friends. I have a lot of Asian friends. Usually if you see a picture on my Facebook and I'm with my friends, it's like you see all these Asians and then there's me, okay? So, but let's be truthful, okay? Let's just be truthful about it. And I'm not mad at it. I'm just trying to explain it to people who don't understand. In the Asian culture, there is a subculture of racism because, again, a lot of your Asians want to emulate white. In their culture, lighter skin is better, you know, just like any other narrative. If you're not from the continent of Africa and from a black country, the narrative is always lighter is better. Even here in the United States, as a black person, the narrative here is, oh, the light skins are, you know, whatever. You know, it's crazy to me. Now, my grandmother was a very, very dark-skinned woman, and she was a twin, and I don't know what it is. I love dark women. I'm talking blurple, okay? Now, if you guys know what I mean when I say blurple, that means the person is so dark you cannot see any blemishes on that person's face, on their body. That's how dark they are. And I think that is the prettiest skin I've ever seen. It's just so smooth looking, and it's just so soft. And like I said, if you're watching me right now in this video, as you see, I'm brown complected, and you can just see, you know, when something happens to me, I get blemishes and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know what it is, but I've always had a bias for darker skinned women. I'm not saying light skinned women aren't all that, but I just have a bias toward dark skinned women. One of my old friends in the military, at the time when I knew her, she was a captain. She had just made major or something like that. Major Collins. Cynthia, oh my God, I thought that was, you know, and I'm a younger guy. I'm a lot younger guy. She was married and stuff like that. Her husband actually inspired me to get my commission because he was enlisted, then he crossed over, okay? And that woman, I thought she was just, man, I thought she was the bee's knees. I did. I just, you know, she was beautiful. She was an officer. She carried herself a certain way. I mean, to me, she was just gorgeous, just gorgeous. You know what I mean? So we're still friends to this very day, and I will tell her that. Matter of fact, it was her birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Cynthia. Miss Cynthia. Let me call you Miss Cynthia. A little respect there. We're not in the military anymore, but let me give you a little respect on that. And so happy birthday, but beautiful woman. Oh, my gosh, that woman is beautiful. It's beautiful. So anyway, so there's this myth that's being created in the media about black on Asian violence. And it's crazy because just the other day, a white man goes into a salon and murders, I believe, 6 Asian women in a salon. And I guess another one was white and something else. So, but I think the total was 8 people. Damn shame. And it's a tragedy. That man should be put to death immediately, in my opinion, because he admitted it. He said he did it. There's, you know, what are we waiting for a trial? Okay? You know, I don't believe in the death penalty. I believe put him in jail for the rest of his life and let him fend for himself. But that's me. But here's my question, and this is what I would like to say to my Asian friends. And like I said, this narrative, I noticed that everybody that they interview seems to be Vietnamese. Okay, of Vietnamese descent or Southeast Asian descent, okay? And I'm just going by the name. When I see the name Nguyen, I'm going to assume you're Vietnamese, okay? You don't, not necessarily, but you know where I'm going with that. And, you know, they're saying, oh, yeah, you know, but they're saying they're being assaulted. But they never say who they think is assaulting them or if they actually seen the person that's assaulting them. So why would you get on a platform like CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, and I do not doubt you guys are getting that work from the white supremacists. I'm not doubting that, okay? But why would you let the networks use you to use a false narrative against black people? That makes no sense to me. Well, yeah, I'm being assaulted. Well, you know, the next question is, well, who's assaulting you, sir? Well, there was this white guy. And if it was a black guy, well, it was a black guy. You know what I mean? But they get on there and they never, ever say who's describing, who's assaulting them. And 9 times out of 10, it would have to be a white supremacist. 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying in every situation. Because the videos that I've seen on the network where they're showing a fight or a incident going on, it's either taking place in a hair shop or a salon. And they're making the narrative that, oh, you know, look at these black women and these black people are assaulting, or the black guys come in there to whip a little ass because this woman's been disrespected or something's going on. You know, they show that part. And then they'll show another video where a person is all masked up. You can't see who he is. Their face is covered and all that other stuff. And they say, oh, look, you know, black people are assaulting Asians. That's not true. And I say it's not true because you can't verify that. In this country's history, what is the only group that has ever covered up their faces when it came to crimes? I know some people say bank robbers. No, the Ku Klux Klan. White supremacy. Because these guys know that if I could cover myself up and create a false narrative of black people doing it, it would take, because as long as you can shit on black people, you know, that's a good thing. Just shit on, you know, black men and just blame them and everybody will go for it. Black people do not cover our faces when we're whipping a little ass, okay? I have yet to see that. So my question to white people, or not white people, I'm sorry, to Asians, is why are you guys not correcting the record of this media blitz against black people? Black people have no reason to assault Asians. There might be some little incidences, but I'm just saying as a whole, as a narrative that the media is putting out there. Where is the Asian that is saying, well, no, that's false? No, that's not correct. That's what we're saying, okay? That's what I'm saying. Hate against Asians, that makes no sense. Show me where all this violence against Asians in the black community actually happened. Number one, blacks and Asians don't even live in the same community. Okay, we don't live in the same community. I don't know if you guys saw this this video clip with this lady named Jenny Ma, this young Asian girl. And she was saying, oh my God, you know, we have Asians, we have restaurants in the black community. You know, she looks at us as nothing but patrons and customers. That's how they look at us. That came out of her mouth. But, you know, I think I'm going to show you the clip if I get a chance, if you watch the video show. And she goes, you know, and then in our neighborhoods, you know, when, you know, she was saying basically there are businesses in the black neighborhood that the Asians depend on. We're customers of their business. And then when we go into their neighborhoods, you know, we're looked at as customers in their community. Notice she didn't say there are black businesses in the Asian neighborhoods, because there aren't. They're not going to patronize you. You know, so again, you know, where is this? Why are they spinning this narrative? And what a lot of these Asian people that are being interviewed don't understand about white supremacy is once they're done using you, they're going to break their tool, okay? Because black people are starting to wake up and we're starting to see what is actually going down when it comes to black people and other groups. Okay, you guys can go get legislation, or you could use this as a wedging incident to go get legislation to protect your businesses or get more money or whatever you need to do. Because out of her own mouth, this girl on the reel, which I don't really watch that show because I'm not of that age demographic, I think it's totally stupid. She said that, you know, they need to put more security to protect themselves against the black people. Where the hell did that narrative come from? If you need more security, you need more security because of safety issues. It has nothing to do with black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, or whatever. But how do you expect us in the black community to support you in what you're saying? Because like I said, I know there's a lot of people that disagree with what I'm saying right now. They disagree with it. They say Donovan's full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, that's fine. And that's your opinion, and you can have that opinion. But haven't black people been fighting racism for years? When George Floyd was murdered on live TV, I didn't really see too many Asians with black people protesting. I did see some in the crowd and stuff. I'm talking about as a whole, as a group, as a persecuted group facing racism. Asians are facing racism. Black people are facing racism. We are in the same communities. Their businesses are in our communities. We are customers to them in their communities. You know, I'm using her logic. I am using her logic. Okay? So, what I'm saying, if you guys are kind of following me, is every time there's a black person murdered, I don't see too many Asian politicians or Asian people speaking up for black people. In general, they're silent. In general, I'm talking about the elected leaders and people that have influence. In general, they're silent. They're silent. Breonna Taylor didn't hear anybody. Sandra Bland didn't hear anybody. Asians are usually silent. Oh, now it's affecting them. And I'm seeing a narrative of a certain group of Asians, Southeast Asian. Okay, I'm not saying that, I am not saying that, it isn't happening to different groups of Asians. It probably is. Most likely it is. But you're also listening to a black man right here in America. So I'm never going to say it's not going to happen, because I'm a black man. I see white supremacy every day. Every day. And it's not just in violence. I'm talking about in redlining. I'm talking about basic discrimination. I'm talking about in profiling. I see it every day. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, when a black person is being wronged by the system of white supremacy, Asians are silent. Did Asians get reparations? Yes, they did. Black people are trying to get reparations. Where are our Asian allies? Where are our Hispanic allies? But now the narrative has come out, you're getting your ass whipped, and it's by black people, but yet not one person that has been interviewed on national TV has said, a black person whooped my ass. Not one. And then the proof is in the pudding by the white supremacist dude that went into those salons in Atlanta and murdered those people. And the white supremacist cops have the nerve to say this has nothing to do with race. Welcome to America. I do not know why Asians are surprised by this. You see what happens to us. And going back to my proof on the stereotypes of Asians toward blacks, we know in Japan they have like a gum, it's called black gum, and they got the black face. I mean, there's all kinds of examples of the prototypical, stereotypical black characters in Asian culture that was put there by the American white supremacists. So I'm trying to be fair here, because that didn't exist until the white man landed in Japan, and especially after World War II. They brought their racism with them. See, so we really got to call it out for what it is. I'm not saying, you're not being assaulted, but I see that there's a narrative once again against black men, and it's just not right. It's just not right. Where have you been? We've been talking about this until people start. Don't get me wrong. If you don't want to unite and end racism, that's fine. Then it's going to continue on and everybody's going to do their own thing. That's perfectly fine with me. But just like I tell black women, some of you black women are sleeping with the enemy. Candace Owens, sleeping with the enemy. A lot of my Asian friends. I would say, for me, I can only speak for me in my experience. I would say it's 50-50. The Asian women that I know, that I grew up with, half of them are married to black men, half of them are married to white men. People are people everywhere. So I don't want you guys to see me say this or see me say that. But what I'm saying is some people are sleeping with the enemy. So why is this a surprise? It just seems that this narrative is coming from a certain sector of the Asian group. Because, again, the Filipinos, I'm sure they get incidences and situations going on. My best friend is like a brother to me, is Filipino. And he loves white women. But does that make him a bad person? No. But he's not going to sit up there and say, yeah, black people are whipping my ass, or, they're going to sit up there and go with the false narrative. You guys need to clarify who is assaulting you and correct these outlets that keep pandering this racism. Because if you don't, that just confirms you're down with it. You're a tool of white supremacy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's no surprise. It is no surprise. And do you think that this stuff is going to stop? You guys listen to me. Listen carefully. The only group in the United States that covers its face to create a crime, a racial crime, is a white supremacist. Black people have no need to suppress anybody when we're on the bottom of the economic scale here in the United States. We don't have the power to do that. We have nothing to gain by doing that. If that was the case, why would we bother with Asians when our main enemy is white folks? In the sense of enemy. That just doesn't make any sense. Or we're going to start beating on Asians and all this other stuff, and that's not going to get us anywhere. What, Andrew Yang is a threat to me? He's not even in the government. Last I checked, Kamala Harris said that she's a black woman, so at least right now she's a black woman, so I'm not even going to say she's Asian. So how does suppressing Asians, who are 8 to 9% of the population and growing, benefit black people? No, how it benefits white supremacy to keep that bullshit going. That's what it does. And you people keep falling for it. So whenever you hear them talk of this bullshit narrative, put a stop to it. And and here's the thing, my Asian brothers and sisters, you have to start doing that. You have to start doing that, or it's going to continue. And if you want to sit here and join white supremacy and continue to believe the false narrative of black people running around and beating on you for what reasons you do not even know, we wouldn't even know, we can't gain anything about it, you continue to do that and you're going to lose. And you are going to lose that argument, and you're going to lose that battle, and you're going to lose that support. Because what I'm going to tell my black brothers and sisters is, since these Asian entrepreneurs and restaurant owners are solicitously throwing our names out there and pointing the finger at us, let's stay our asses out of their businesses. Let's start doing that, okay? If you guys want to continue with this narrative of black men doing that, which makes no sense, black people are assaulting you, that makes no sense whatsoever if you use basic logic, then you know what, black people? If that's how they feel about us, stay the fuck out of their restaurants and their businesses and watch how quickly the narrative changes. Just watch. That's how we're going to deal with this. Since you're going to throw us under the bus, you know what? There's only one way to handle this. Let's start taking our dollars out of your restaurants and let's see how long you last. We'll wait for an apology, but we know one's not coming. I can't sit here as a black man and continue to remain silent as people continue to take a shit on my community. Can't do it. You've got black people coming here from other countries that are taking dumps on us. I'm ADOS. I'm not going to have it. You've got a new day. We are not our parents. We are not our grandparents. It's just not going to happen, you guys. Simple as that. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of Mississippi Masala I put up. And it was the clip where Denzel was confronting the father, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, "You people come here, black as I don't know what, from whatever country you come from, and you come over here and start acting white and start treating us like dogs. And all we know is you are not that far, a couple of shades from where we are right now." And that's just a paraphrase. But I don't know if you guys saw it. It got a lot of great response from a lot of people who said, yeah, that's exactly how we feel about this. You know, we don't have a problem with anybody that comes to this country and does well. We want you to do well. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have even had that opportunity. But then you come here and you shit on us. That's the problem. We opened the door for you, and that's how you pay us back. I have a problem with that. I have a big, big problem with that. So we're going to start handling this in a way that everybody can understand. And that way is we're going to start keeping our economic dollars in our own pockets. And we are going to start forcing these younger black entrepreneurs to open businesses that we can patronize, and we could keep our dollars in our community. How about that? How about that? Let's see how you guys do. And that's not just Asian, that's Hispanic, that's any other group, white, whatever. We're going to start keeping our dollars to ourselves. If you're not with us, you are against us. How do you go on a major news outlet and say you are being attacked and cannot articulate who the attacker is, but you let the network go with the narrative of black people? If it was me and I see what they're doing, I would have said, first of all, I don't know who my attacker is, and this thing about black people, this rumor or whatever, this thing that I've been seeing on TV, so you can't act like you haven't seen it. That's not true. Okay? Notice they're making all kinds of excuses for the white guy. If 6 out of the 8 people that were murdered, Asian women, were murdered in a salon, massage parlor, they were Asian women, 6 out of the 8, how is that not white supremacy at its finest? How is that not a hate crime? Why? Because it wasn't a black person that did the shooting? Is that the reason? This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. But hey, you guys, real quick, I just want you guys to think about this. The 5-star general is running for the Houston School Board. Please, please, please donate. You don't have to wait till Tuesday. You don't have to wait till whatever. A lot of you guys got your stimulus checks. There's no excuse if you're down in the Houston area, or even if you just watch the war zone, not to donate $5, $10, $12. Every little bit counts. To get an advocate up there that is going to care for our kids. Be one our kids. Okay? We got to get this man on the school board. I always tell people, like in the military, when you didn't like your supervisor, you didn't like your commanding officer, if you didn't like him, do you know how you get rid of him? You can't go and complain and get rid of him. You do such a fucking good job, he promotes up. That's how you get rid of him. So all you people that hate the war zone and whatever, give us your dollars. Let's help get this man elected. Let's help get him elected. Let's promote him up. Because he would have so much work to do on that school board, he would really have to cut back on the time that he does the war zone. A little reverse psychology there for you guys. Hey, you guys, don't forget about the Demetra K show. Demetra K on Sundays. Demetra is moving on up. Demetra is giving insightful commentary and grouping. If you guys haven't seen it, she's on the African Diaspora Network, and she's on also the African Diaspora Insider. And she puts up videos in regards to the black community. The new black media, that's where you're going to find stories and things that are going on. A good example of the new black media, I'm talking about this subject. Why aren't the so-called black servants not talking about this? not standing up for this. You want to know why? Because black politicians ain't shit. That's why. That's why. I want to give a shout out to the Warrens. They're down in Franklinton, Louisiana. I got all the ladies in the Warren family are just beautiful young ladies and stuff like that. But I got a couple of them down there that are woke. Whitney Warren, she's very, very woke. You know, she tells it like it is. She, you know, no chaser. I like women like that. I knew her since she was a little girl. Now she's a grown mama with 3 children. Wow, I'm getting old. And every time I see these young ladies with their children, I feel old. I feel super old because I remember them when they were just young little kids running around. And, of course, got a shout out to their grandma, Margaret Warren. She tries to keep everybody in line. Sweet lady, very, very, very sweet, very, very blessed. She has a beautiful family, so I want to just give her a quick shout out. And don't forget Free Flow Fridays. That's going to be tomorrow, matter of fact. Free Flow Fridays with me and Demetra and I. And we'll be talking about anything. And if you guys have a topic that you guys want the War Zone or any of these shows to talk about, let us know. Email us, text us, call us, let us know, and we'll talk about it. The one thing about the Demetra K show that makes it very, very distinctive, and Free Flow Friday that makes it distinctive from other shows, is we actually read what you guys say on the threads, and we try to get through them, and we usually do get through all the threads. But we need your help to spread the message. So please, even on this show right here, this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, and get that message out there. But I just want to say that that narrative of black people assaulting Asians, it's just not true. And my Asian friends, we need to start speaking up and stop shitting on the black community. I mean, the black community has enough issues as it is. And, we don't want to make this, we stand alone and we stand by ourselves. But if that's how you guys are going to make it, if that's how it's going to be, then it's going to be. We patronize your stores. We patronize your beauty supplies. Black women alone, $14 billion industry in the Asian community, mostly controlled by Koreans. In the Asian community, $14 billion annually. Okay? Stand up for us. Do what's right. Do what's right. But again, I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say that a lot of you guys are sleeping with the enemy. You're sleeping with white supremacists. A lot of you are. I know you hate to say that, but it's true. Yeah, there's black men that sleep with white women. Yep, they do it. Everybody does it, okay? But I guarantee you that black man ain't going to let that white woman talk about nigga this, nigga that, da. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a difference. I just happen to notice that when my Asian friends marry into the white community, they adopt a lot of the white culture, and that's fine. But I get mad at them when I talk to them for the simple fact that just because you marry into the white culture or any culture does not excuse you not teaching your children your culture. That's my thing. These kids are of 2 cultures. Even if that's a step kid, teach it the culture of both, not just one, and then the kid gets all confused. And you got the Proud Boys, that is a white supremacist group that is headed by a bunch of Mexicans or Hispanics or whatever they want to call themselves. See how confused people could be? But yeah, you guys got to start speaking up for us. Because if you don't want to speak up for us, then we're not going to speak up for you. I will say on this platform, yes, there is assaults being made against Asians. But as a whole, it is not by black people. That doesn't make sense. Do I have the proof? No. But do you have the proof that it's black people? Because the videos that they keep showing is a person all masked up. And the only people that do that are white people. Holy crap. Come on. Who has a record of doing that in the United States? I mean, it's not that hard, people. It's not that hard, okay? But hey, you guys, what else is going on? The Deshaun Watson situation, like I said, to break a black man, that's the narrative in this country. We get dumped on enough. And I'm just one of those people, I'm just getting a little bit tired of it. So just want you guys just to see what's going on.